All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. Today we're going to take a look at how we go from 3 high to 1 high, so how we base out of our 3 high structure, and then some of the change-ups we use to kind of close the middle of the field. Make sure you check out some of our partners. GameStrat sideline replay system we use here at the school I'm currently at, and the last 2 schools I've been at. Baker Sports, which is a company that provides us with our uniforms, coaches gear, players, spirit packs, things like that, and then some fan gear as well, so make sure you check them out. Dome Headwear, which is the main headwear sponsor for Play Fast Football and the school that I'm currently at. They make hats for our football program and Play Fast Football. DifferenceUSA, the ultimate striking machine. We have a couple in our weight room, perfect for getting the techniques and fundamentals down and striking, elbows in, thumbs up, thousands of reps. Don't need a partner. Check them out. JustPlayFB, which is the playbook software we use at the school that I'm currently at. And then also I use it with my Patreon site, and anytime I'm going to speak at clinics or any webinars I do, I use Just Play. It's the best play drawing tool on the market. Check them out. HighandTight, ball security training aid, instant auditory feedback. Players learn how to carry the ball because if they're not carrying the ball in the proper position, they don't hear the beep. So they know right away when they hear the beep, that's the proper position, points of pressure. If they don't hear the beep, all right, they know they're doing something wrong. TDPublishing, which company that distributes books and videos and does a lot of good research with a lot of new up-and-coming coaches and current college coaches, and they do some videos that are available. So if you're trying to educate yourself further in the football world, make sure you check out TDPublishing. And then CoachTools, which is a new way for a new grading system online to grade and evaluate your players. If you're tired of doing it the old-fashioned way by hand on a notepad, check it out. It's completely customizable with tabs and tools that you can use to create a brand new grading system online for your players. So it's a great piece of software. Make sure you check out CoachTools. All right, so we've been basing out of 3 high, playing some tight front stuff this spring. So our generic standard day 1 camp rules, we're a middle of the field open team, even though we play with that middle safety, all right, and in a 3 high structure, we are a middle of the field open team. So most of our coverages revolve around being middle of the field open. We're still a quarters toolbox team, so we're still palms are 2 read to 2 open. We're still quarters to a tight end attached. We're still, our 3x1 adjustments are all the same out of our quarters toolbox. So everything has stayed the same within the 3 high structure. It's just that we're using that middle safety to kind of replace one of our linebackers in coverage, and we're adding him into some run fits right now. So the 3 high structure for us remains a middle of the field open concept. So for me as a middle of the field open team, one of the things that's always been important is the things that we carry to close the middle of the field, the things that we carry to defend the middle of the field, defend the post, and defend some of the areas that people are going to attack when we're our middle of the field open team. So one of the things we do is because to me the 3 high structure and the 3 high look is so, to me, conducive and so solid for spinning to 1 high coverages. All right, and we've got 2 different ways that we do that. The first way that we do that is we spin to a 3 deep look. So we spin safeties down on each side just outside of 2. We spin the middle safety back to the deep middle. Corners are going to have to midpoint 2 threats because when we go to 1 high structures, all right, we are a spot drop team. We are not a pattern match team. And the reason we do that is we do not base out of rip liz match. We do not start out of rip liz match. We do not start out of those kind of match, carry, deliver type principles. All right, so we start with our quarters toolbox and our match principles in our quarters toolbox, middle of the field open. So when we go to a middle of the field closed 1 high structure, 3 deep structure, we choose to play it as a spot drop, all right, deal for us because it's a change-up coverage. It's a way for us to defend the post. And it's something that we do to give a different look, close the middle of the field. It's not something we live in every down. So I am okay teaching it as a spot drop. Now, we drop 8 when we do it, all right? But I am okay teaching it as a spot drop concept and then kind of manipulating where the weaknesses are because we don't live in it every down. It's not our base coverage. If we were a 1 high team and we were a 3 deep team and we were a team that was going to base 75% of our snaps that way, I would probably look at being a rip liz match team. But because we are not, when we go to 1 high structures, middle of the field closed structures, we choose to spot drop it. So what this does is it closes the middle of the field for us. So anybody trying to go with all those palms beaters and get post to the middle of the field, this gives us a post defender. So it takes away the middle of the field. All right, it gives us 5 underneath droppers. So we end up with a flat player. So the safety becomes a buzz 1 flat player. The will becomes an area 2 curl player. The mic becomes a strong 3. So area 2 curl, strong 3 hook, flat dropper there, and then we are deep third behind it. So we play at drop 8, so we become a 5 under, 3 deep team. So one of the things I like in the short to intermediate passing game is I feel like we can cover a lot of the spacing routes and a lot of the deals that teams are giving us because we're going to flood trips. If we get trips, we're going to push the mic that way and we're going to flood it out. All right, very similar to the Rip Liz teams, but we're not match carry and deliver. We're not carrying 2s, so there are going to be some seam integrities. So we have to midpoint our corners. So we need to midpoint our corners because of the seam integrities. We need to do a good job of trying to wall 2. But you have to understand that we don't, when we go to 1 high and we go to this structure, okay, we don't really fear 4 verticals because we play so much middle of the field open and we play so much palms to read. A lot of times teams won't live in 4 verticals against us because it turns into some type of man-to-man where they constantly have to throw the comeback, all right, or they have to throw the bender somewhere on the middle of the field open because straight 4 verticals gives us no issues in the seams. All right, so if they're a 4 vertical team, they're usually trying to create some seam integrity issues, or they've got to bend or hit fallout comebacks on the outside when it's middle of the field open because the seams, all right, are capped. They don't have integrity issues. So for us, we don't really, when I go to a 1 high spot drop 3 deep and I don't carry seams, I don't get freaked out about it because of our base progression in quarters. We don't see a lot of 4 verticals. In the last couple of years, I can count, the number of times we've either seen 4 verticals or we've been, beat up pretty bad by 4 verticals. We've lost a couple jump balls. All right, yeah, we've seen some 4 vertical theories, but we don't see a ton of it anymore because the coverage structure in our base lets the offense know that that is not something that is going to cause us issues. It's just going to cause us issues in a man-to-man matchup down the field or a dude ball, jump ball matchup, all right? Or if you have quarterbacks that can throw outside comebacks, but it's not going to cause us any defensive structural integrity issues in the seams because our seams are capped because we're middle of the field open, right? So I don't really stress about 4 verticals when I go to 1 high. I stress about fit and runs, all right, making sure that we can understand how we're going to fit runs from this front. I stress about the outside guys being able to buzz underneath 1 and take away easy throws. I stress about them being force players, all right. I don't really stress a ton. I'll stress a little bit about wheel concepts and making sure we know that we're going to have to possibly carry wheels with our safeties if our corner's going to midpoint and if our corner's going to squeeze a post in a little bit. So I stress about some of those things, but 4 verticals I really don't stress about. So for us, the first way we spin to 1 high is double buzz. If you're following, if you follow any of the Iowa State stuff, it's double buzz, both safeties down, double star concept for us or a double sky concept for us. Both safeties down. We try to spin to it from our palms look. We try to spin our middle safety out from his 3 high look, okay? And now we present that 1 high structure. The second way we'll do it, all right, is an old-fashioned Tampa version. So the second way we'll do it, okay, is we'll put the corners down there hard right now. We'll play the safeties over the top, and we'll play an old-school Tampa version, which to me really ends up becoming a 1 high concept because you're defending in the middle of the field. And the way we do it, we don't need the mic to defend the middle of the field like the old-school NFL teams do. So what we'll do is we'll come up and we'll jam, and now that becomes the flat player, and that becomes the D-gap force. That jam funnel, you become the flat player and the D-gap force. The Sam, the Will, and the Mike all do the same thing. So their underneath part of coverage when we go to 1 high is all the same. Now this safety comes out and has to defend the outside 3rd midpoint. He's got to defend the outside 3rd midpoint, and that middle safety is going to defend right down the middle. Now, there are times, depending on the game plan, we will let the middle safety stay and play rules off of 3, so if 3's vertical, we got them. If it's 3 by 1, sometimes we'll play it that way and let the middle safety match up 3 vertical, or we'll just put the middle safety in the middle of the field and we'll midpoint 1 and 2, midpoint 1 and 2. So this structure is still 5 under 3 deep. Okay, it's still the same version of spot drop coverage we just played. All right, the only adjustment is now we take away some easy throws. We roll up in your face. All right, we roll up into your face there. All right, and we play that version of 3 deep behind it, that Tampa 2, which essentially becomes 3 deep because they have a deep run-through player that is the Mike. Well, we don't need the Mike. We have the middle safety to replace the Mike. We're dropping 8. So there's our deep middle player. Okay? There's been times where we have also, all right, there's been times where we have also thought about playing this. If the ball is on the hash mark, we thought about playing a combination of both, to where into the boundary we play the corner up, all right, Tampa structure, but to the field, because we don't like how far the corner is sometimes, and those throws are longer, sometimes we'll play our normal 3 deep. So now we'll play the inverted version, the Tampa version to the boundary, all right, so there's your flag player, but to the field we'll play the normal buzz version, or sorry, star sky version, all right, where the safety's down and the corner is now the 3rd player. So we're still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under. We're still 3 deep. We're just playing a combination of both, all right, to where this side I kind of view as the Tampa side, okay, and this side I kind of view as the safe side because the safety's down. All right, so now we're a combination. Into the boundary, we're playing the Tampa look. To the field, we're playing the 3 safe look. All right, so 1 is double buzz, 1 is double cloud. This happens to be the hybrid, the best of both worlds. Tampa to the boundary, okay? Tampa to the boundary and safe to the field. All right, so Tampa to the boundary, safe to the field. All right, and we like to call this 3 combo because it tells us that we're playing our 3 deep structures, but it tells us it's a combination of Tampa to the boundary and safe to the field. So with the ball on the hash mark, we know we're going to play our drop 8. We know we're going to play 5 under. We're just going to change it to the field. We're going to play the safe version. To the boundary, we are going to play, all right, the Tampa version. So the corner to the boundary needs to know to play the Tampa version. Safety to the boundary needs to know to play the midpoint. And now to the field, they need to know to play our regular 3 safe. Okay? So those are 2 ways for us that we get to middle of the field closed. And then the other way is kind of out of our 3-3 stack deal, sending a 4th. So we would get back into more of our 3-3 stack deal and present this box. We will send the front one way. We'll add a 4th rusher, and then we will play man on the back end with the safeties in the corners. The backer that doesn't rush has the running back, okay? And then we take the middle safety and we make him high hole. We take the Mike linebacker, we make him low hole, and now we are playing 1 rat, which you guys have heard to me on this channel. I've referred to this as 11 robber for us. Okay, so for us, robber is a man concept. It's not your traditional robber concept that everybody looks at. It's old Nebraska terminology from the early 90s. 11 robber, the 11 tells us that we have 1 low hole player, 1 high hole player, right? 1 rat is the kind of college NFL version, the Saban Belichick, that's their terminology. But now what we've been able to do, and this has changed a little bit from when we used to be 4-2-5, we used to do it a different way. But now what we do is we add a 4th rusher, we get to our stack look, it changes out of our tight front, okay? So now we add a 4th. So now we're moving to almost an over/under front, depending on where the 3 is and where the A shade is. Sending a 4th, playing man-to-man instead of zone concepts, and we've got a low hole player and a high hole player. So those are the 3 ways for us, all right, coming out of 3 high that we work back to 1 high and we close the middle of the field. So we go 3 safe, safety's down, we go Tampa, corners down, safety's on the 3rd, middle safety, deep 3rd. We go combo, Tampa to the boundary, safe to the field, okay, and then we go 1 rat or 11 robber, and we send a 4th. So for us, it was always robber coverage. We always called it robber coverage at every school I've been at, that I've been in charge, because I learned it as 11 robber back in the day. We cut the 11 out and just called it robber because we didn't play any other robber techniques. Our quarters, we play quarters. That's similar to everybody's robber concepts. To me, there's a few slight differences, but when we want to play a safety in the run game, vertical of 2, we call it robber. I'm sorry, we call it quarters, not robber. When we play robber, we call it this version, man-to-man with a low hole, high hole, 11 robber, 1 rat, however you want to look at it. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of how we try to mitigate some damage to the middle of the field, how we try to manipulate offenses into thinking we're middle of the field open all the time, and then we rotate. 3 high is really a great structure for it, because that middle safety, if he's lined up off a back, he's always kind of 8 yards off the ball, off the back. And then when you start figuring out that he's in the run fit, or he's fitting in pass coverage off a back, and you think you've got things figured out, all of a sudden we spin him back to the middle of the field, and now we steal him as a post player in the middle of the field. So again, I hope this helps you guys out. If you want to leave a comment on this, any comments, I try to respond to every comment that I can see that makes it through on my end. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you like the content or how I present, or if you don't like it, because the interaction lets us know what we need to do different, or what we need to do better, or what we're doing that people like. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, so you know every time a video comes out, or you know when we do something on YouTube Live. I appreciate everything you guys do for PlayFast. If you're practicing out there, all right, good luck, stay safe, keep moving forward. Hope your installs are going good. I hope anything you learned in the off-season is working out for you. I hope your spring game goes well and everybody stays healthy. If you're just getting ready for the off-season, stick it out. There's only 20 to 30-something days of school left based on where you are in the country, so summer will be here before you know it. Hope your workouts are good. Hope everybody's healthy, getting stronger. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast, and I will see you guys next time.